I have no family. I have no job. I have no friends. And I'm sitting in our new apartment and he's working. I don't have a job. And I'm sitting on the front steps of the apartment building and I'm thinking, let somebody walk by I can talk to, somebody. And I'm drinking a rum and coke by myself. And at that moment, I'm looking at that drink. I'm drinking by myself. And it was like a lightning bolt. You're drinking by yourself. You're depressed and alone. Who does this remind you of?
Yep. I was just thinking that. Yep.
I am going to be my mother. And so I got up, I went to the sink and I said, Dear God, please help me. I don't want to be like my mother. I need help. And I poured the drink down the sink. That was, I think, a Saturday or a Sunday. Monday, I got a job. The only other girl in the whole place started the same day. She was from the door, the Potter's House, the door in San Antonio. And she started in on me. Boom, right off the bat. Talking about Jesus, sharing Jesus. We went to lunch. She had her head down. I thought she was choking. She explained that she was praying.
She was praying
I'm
for
like,
food.
I invited her out for a beer after work because my husband worked at a bar restaurant and could get us free drinks. She said, I don't drink. And I said, You don't? Do you have a stomach problem? She said, Oh, I'm a Christian. I said, What do you mean you don't drink? Every Christian I know drinks. She goes, Well, not this one. And so she was amazing testimony. I could not have picked, I had picked someone, I could not have picked a better, more outspoken, more loving person to witness to me than Barbara Hamper. She's still in the church today. She's still a great example, still witnessing and Christian life and caring about souls. I was blessed. God sent the right one to me.
Amen. How long were you guys married at this time?
We were married 2 years. I didn't know anything, so I couldn't go home. And Barbara invited me to church, but I had to wear nylons to work. I didn't want to wear a dress. I said, I don't want to go to church. I've been there. All you kids get off the lawn, kind of cross symbols and religion. I was thinking Catholic church. And so she said, okay, don't come to church. Come to a movie. So back then we didn't have movies in your house. So a free movie, the place was packed. So I thought, you know what? I bet they won't let me in. So I wore my ripped out jeans and barefoot and no bra and showed up and thought they weren't going to let me in. And I got to the door and they said, You're Heather. Barbara told us you're coming.
They were so excited to see you. And
even though I wasn't dressed right and they had a seat for me and the place was packed. And what really spoke to me, there were Black people and Asian people and Mexican people. I mean, it was so mixed and it was packed. And the movie was about, this was what killed me. The movie was about a man who got saved, said he was saved to his wife, and she didn't want it. And then they had the altar. He gets raptured.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
We called them the big three, Patty and her husband. Anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, that is my marriage. My husband says he's saved and he's going to go in the rapture and I'm not saved. And they asked for an altar call and I'm thinking, I'll never see these people again. I raised my hand, went to the altar and God met me there. And the girl who prayed with me was amazing. Her name is Bridget. She's since passed away and gone to be with Jesus, but she was faithful and brought me my first Bible and she prayed with me. And I can remember, I didn't even know what to pray. That's what amazes me. I didn't know what to pray. I just said, you know what, Jesus, I don't know if you're real, but the truth is I'm a liar, thief. I've slept around. I've done drugs and alcohol. I hate my mother. I love my husband, but I hate my life. All I'm asking is if you're real, please heal my marriage and give me a real friend, one that I don't have to be phony, that I don't have to have money or have to dress a certain way or have drugs or alcohol. I just want, those are the only two things I'm asking. Heal my marriage because I love this man, but I hate my life with him, and give me a friend. And if you're real, I will live for you because I can't do anything fake. I'm not going to do this fake religion thing. I'm not going to do that. And I got up from there. I lit up a cigarette outside and they were stale. I threw them away. I went home, went to my husband's work and said, I got saved. And he was like, and I thought, how come you're not happy for me? You've been telling me I need to get saved all these years. And he's like, oh no, I'm happy. He has his own side of the story. But when he got home, he offered me a joint and I just told him I got saved. And I looked at that joint and I said, you know what, Andy, I am clean for the first time in my life. I am not touching that again. That was my first no. And when I witness people and they get saved, I tell them, you're going to have to say the first no. Once you say the first no and draw the line, that's where conversion begins. Cannot say the first no, then there's no change. But I remember saying that first no. And then for about a month, I was going to church and excited. And he tried to get me not to go. Let's go for breakfast. No, I'm going to church. And about a month later, I couldn't even witness to him because he knew more than I did. But all I knew is that I had changed life, and I would pray about things and God would do them. I was excited and amazed. And about a month later, he came to church. There's a couple of visits there, but the guy preached about being religious but not having a relationship with Jesus. And he realized that was him. He raised his hand and got saved. We got home, he got in the car and he threw all the joint. I didn't even know I had drugs in my car. He's throwing them out the window. We get home and he's throwing the alcohol down the sink. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing? He goes, Christians don't drink. And I said, well, he goes, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it all the way. No alcohol. We never touched it since. We never had it in our home again. All the drugs went down the toilet, out the window, the cigarettes, judgment, because he knew what being born again meant. And he showed me the way from there.